Hello friends, I am Welshie and welcome to Theory Pop. In today's video on the Dragon Prince, we're going to answer the question, is Callum the first human Primal Mage? Before we begin, beware of spoilers for Season 2 of the Dragon Prince. Season 2 picks up where Season 1 left off. Callum, Ezran and Rayla had found the miracle healer of the cursed caldera, only to find out she was a moon mage named Lujane. She was unable to heal the dragon egg, so the group was left with one option: destroy the Primal Stone and unleash the storm contained within to hatch the egg. The egg hatched, and the son of the late Dragon King Thunder was born. Without the Primal Stone, Callum is unable to use magic. Just as he had found an identity beyond being a prince, and the confidence he had found in the role of being a mage, Callum lost it. The young prince sacrificed this thing that made him whole in order to save the life of another. While speaking with Lujane, he asks her to teach him moon magic, but the lunar mage flat out tells the prince that humans can't do primal magic.
Humans can't do magic.
But I did do magic.
Right, with a Primal Stone. But then you smashed it, so now you're just a standard human again.
Lujane attempts to explain the concept of an arcanum to Callum, the inherent understanding of a primal source that all magical creatures are born with, but humans are never born with that connection inside them. Claudia seems to confirm this while discussing the benefits of dark magic with Callum.
Humans weren't born with magic. We were born with nothing, but we still found a way to do amazing things. That's what dark magic is really all about.
The power she and her father wield relies on drawing the primal essence from magical creatures and using it to fuel spells. A human using raw primal magic is unheard of, and yet, after much self-doubt and internal conflict, and brief dalliance with the power of dark magic, Callum successfully learns how to use primal magic. He connects with the Sky Arcanum, allowing him to cast spells without using a Primal Stone or animal parts. Is Callum the first human mage to use a primal source in this way without resorting to dark magic? Well, no, he's not. Way back in September of 2018, I made a video discussing the central role magic would play in the world and story of the Dragon Prince. In that video, I quoted an article from Animation magazine in which Aaron Ehas, co-creator of the show, confirmed that humans did have a history of using primal magic. Ehas stated that these powers were arcane and difficult to learn, so humans had to apprentice with a wizard for years. This may have been further corroborated by a more recent article that appeared on The Verge's website in March of this year, in which Justin Richmond, the other co-creator of the show, talks about Callum's newfound connection to primal magic. We've been told humans can't do primal magic, right? Is that just something he's been told? Is he special? Is it just something humans have believed for such a long time, and dark magic is so easy that no one ever bothered doing the deep reflection it takes to actually let them access primal magic? Over 1,000 years ago, the continent of Xadia was not divided as it is now, but was one land, where humans and elves lived alongside each other. During this time, humans that wanted to learn magic had no choice but to apprentice to an experienced mage. They were not born with a primal arcanum as the elves were, but instead would spend years trying to understand the very nature of the primal sources and hopefully harness them. Based on what the creators have stated in past interviews, this would have been a long and difficult process. But then humans discovered a shortcut, a way to take this magical power and use it without needing to spend years studying with a more experienced mage: dark magic. The elves and dragons exiled all humans to the west of the continent and divided the land in two. Primal human mages were suddenly cut off from their teachers and were unable to learn any further arcane secrets from the elves. This now left humans with dark magic as their only option if they wished to learn how to use arcane powers. As the humans and elves have been separated by the Breach, that continent-spanning river of molten lava, for 1,000 years, knowledge of primal human mages passed into obscurity. The elves, who abhor the practice of dark magic, would be unlikely to ever take another human apprentice. The fact that humans are not born with an arcanum is true, but the potential for a human with the right character, determination, and a willingness to learn the hard way appears to have been forgotten. Or this knowledge has been purposefully hidden, since the invention of dark magic is a huge betrayal to the magical races, but then not all the humans approve of dark magic, which means the elves and dragons were tarring them all with the same brush, and I'm getting sidetracked. The point is, Callum is not the first human to gain an understanding of an arcanum and use primal magic without an external aid, like a Primal Stone. But he is the only known living human to have done so, and just because he isn't necessarily the first, that doesn't in any way diminish what the prince has achieved. Callum gained an understanding of the Sky Arcanum by himself. Unlike the humans of the distant past, Callum didn't have a Primal Mage to apprentice with. Lujane and Rayla both tried to explain their arcanum to Callum, but it was the prince's internal conflict, determination, reflection, and rejection of predetermined destiny that led to his revelation. This doesn't mean the end of Callum's journey of becoming a mage, however. He has by no means mastered everything within the Sky Arcanum. Callum knows all of 2 spells tied to the primal source: the wind spell Aspero and the lightning spell Fulminus, and he's only tried using one of these spells without a Primal Stone. If he is to learn more magical abilities, Callum will either need to find a willing teacher, which may be difficult given that many elves seem to have an intense dislike of humans, or he will need to find a book with the sigils and draconic words needed to perform those spells. Callum is not the first human primal mage, but he is not following the path set by those that went before him. He is forging his own journey, writing his own destiny, and I can't wait to see how he grows and develops into this newfound role in future seasons. That's about it from me on this theory, but what do you think? Is Callum the first human primal mage, or were there others before him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you'd like to see more theories on the Dragon Prince, check out this playlist on the left. Click my face to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.